Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remembered so you don't have to. When you're a kid, all you can think about is being in high school. When you're in high school, all you can think about is being in college. When you're in college, all you can think about is being an adult. And when you're an adult, all you can think about is being a kid again. Life fucking sucks. But for those few years of misled optimism, we have the Saturday morning hit Saved by the Bell. Before Hannah Montana, Lizzie McGuire, or any of those other high school sitcoms, Saved by the Bell was the first to fork out beautiful teenagers with hideous clothes saying horrible lines to an entire crowd of canned laughter. This is one of those shows that captured the essence of the 80s so well that sometimes seem like we've traveled back in time to that cherished decade to relive the fun and wonder that the 1980s had to give us. The only problem? It was made in the 90s! I mean, look at this. It's like a decade behind. Were they just stuck in a time warp or something? But oh well, this is what we thought high school was going to be like when we were younger, before our dreams were shattered like Elizabeth Berkley's career. What many of you may not know is that Saved by the Bell was not always called Saved by the Bell. It was originally called Good Morning Miss Bliss, and the focus was not on the students as much as their teacher, Miss Bliss, played by Haley Mills. It ran for about a year on the Disney Channel and had some of the same cast as the original show, but it never caught on, and it was taken off the air after only one season. After that, NBC picked up the show and changed the title to Saved by the Bell, and thus we were given the high school character stereotypes that only unimaginative writing could bring us. For example, you got Zach. You know, the kid always getting into trouble with his harebrained schemes, but always manages to get out of trouble with his irresistible smile. That and a bucket load of hair gel. Seriously, that thing looks alive. Next, you got Slater, the good-looking jock, who's very similar to Zach in almost every way, except for, their names. After that, you got Kelly, the good-looking cheerleader who has those insufferable on-again, off-again relationships with the main character. I know this is high school, but how many times can you break up with a person before they turn into a psycho and start stalking you? 3. Next, you got Screech, the nerdy little geek-a-doofus dork who, judging by his voice, holds the record for the longest time anyone has ever gone through puberty.
Well, I thought I was. Do you think he was kidnapped by space creatures?
Kelly, hi.
Oh, for God's sakes, will your testicles just drop already? After that, you got Lisa, the fashionable, self-centered mall brat who is the object of Screech's affection.
You were great in the 100-yard dash.
Oh, thanks, but I owe my victory to Screech.
You do?
Oh yeah, I pretended you were chasing me.
Ouch. Finally, you got Jessie, the self-righteous, vegetarian, politically correct, environmental, animal rights feminist in the group. She was the most unpopular character in the show.
I can't believe my own boyfriend doesn't even support me.
Well, why do we need more oil?
I mean, auctioning off dates is just a glorified meat market. That's wrong. That's immoral. That's dishonest.
Well, excuse me for living! Now you might be asking yourself, haven't I seen her before, except in something more degrading and publicly humiliating? Yep, this is the exact same woman who starred in Showgirls, one of the biggest cult films to ever horrify audiences.
Auctioning off dates is sexist flesh peddling and should be strictly forbidden.
They go to a school principaled by balding, educational pushover, Mr. Belding.
What is going on here? That's a good one. Oh, gee, Miss Wentworth, that's not fair.
Oh, good news, Mr. Belding! Good news! Your balls arrived!
Is that true?
So what can you say about the show as a whole? Well, it's hard to sum up the entire thing in general, so let's take a look at some individual episodes. Like, how about the episode with the fake IDs? This episode starts off at the kid's favorite hotspot, the Max. Look at this place. It's like the 80s interpretation of the 50s. Zach helps out a girl with her flat tire, but it turns out she's over 18 and wants to meet him at a club. So Screech comes up with some fake IDs to get everybody in. Can somebody tell me what's the point of making a fake ID to show that you're 18 when you're so obviously 24?
You know, we never did discuss your fee.
Well, I really don't know.
Oh yes, I forgot to mention. This show has the most obnoxious audience in the entire world. I mean, they go nuts about everything. What if something happened that they didn't know how to react to?
Wrong. Last night Jeff went bowling with his roommates. Why don't you just mind your own business and stay out of my life?
Or how about the episode where Zach has to find his family roots? It turns out Zach finishes a track meeting, having not worked up anything close to a sweat, but forgot he has to research his family tree for a school project. All he can find, though, is a picture of a Native American chief. So, like any high schooler, he bullshits his way through the report.
Zach Morris, let's hear from you next.
All right, Screechy's going to assist me. Ready, Screech?
Ready, Kimosabi.
Oh god.
After digging through old family papers and pictures, I learned that I'm part American Indian. I come from a long line of fierce warriors and great hunters.
Me.
They roamed the wide open plains in search of their daily food.
Me hungry.
And the award for most awkward, racially insensitive moment in Saturday morning history goes to Saved by the Bell!
And I'd like to thank my dad for giving me electric trains when I was 3.
Okay, so obviously Zach has to do the report again, but this time to help him out, his teacher sends him to a Native American named Chief Henry, who knows a little something about Zach's tribe.
Why couldn't the white man and the Indians get along?
Why can't the Arabs get along with Israelis? And why can't I get along with my ex-wife?
Did he just compare the Battle of Arabs and Israelis to his ex-wife? Okay. Zach returns to give his presentation, dressing up as one of the village people, and gives a much more detailed speech. He never did explain why his people painted vaginas on their chins, but then again it is just a 3-minute speech. Wanting to tell his mentor the good news, Zach suffers a heartbreaking blow.
A friend of ours passed away today.
Chief Henry died this morning.
Well, of course! How dramatically convenient. What do you think his Indian name was? Dies with poetic plot points? Fortunately, he appears to Zach in a dream and tells him that it's okay to stop grieving and move on with his life.
Oh, I gotta go. I'm being fitted for wings.
Wings? You mean like angel wings? So he's a Christian pagan Native American. Huh, go figure.